Hello friends and welcome to my channel. Today I want to demonstrate how to perform a clean installation of Ubuntu desktop on a PC. Before we move any further, we need to check one very important thing: the minimum system requirement for this installation. So according to Ubuntu, the recommended minimum system requirement will be 2 GHz dual core processor, 4 gigs of system memory, 25 gigs of mass storage space or higher. The hard drive could either be a USB stick, memory card or external hard drive. If you want an alternative, you can check out live CD option, which is not covered in this installation. So we proceed to the next requirement, which is a VGA card or a graphics module that is capable of 1024 by 768 screen resolution. You need either a CD DVD drive or a USB port for the installation media. If you have internet access, then it's a bonus. Now we know the bare bone hardware system requirements. We proceed. We will need 3 softwares and a pen drive that is of 8 gigs or higher capacity. The first software we will need is SD card formatter to format the SD card, the Ubuntu ISO image which we are going to install, and a Rufus tool which we will use to burn the ISO image into the pen drive. Therefore, we'll open our browser to download the softwares we will be needing. Search for Ubuntu download. From the search results, click on ubuntu.com/downloads. A pop-up might appear. You can manage your tracker settings, but I'm just going to accept all and visit the site. On the site, click on download menu. From here you can see there are different flavors or versions of Ubuntu for different purposes. The one I am interested in and going to use for this project is Ubuntu desktop. Still, in Ubuntu desktop there are 2 versions, a long-term support version and a beta version, aka the version in development. I'm going to use the long-term version, LTS for short, for this project. It is 20.04 now, but might change with time. So wherever the version might be, just click on the long-term support version. I've already downloaded it before, so I'm not going to repeat it. Next, we navigate to sdcard.org to download the SD card formatter. Type sdcard.org on your address bar and hit enter. Click on downloads, and from the sub menus expand SD memory card formatter download, and then click on SD memory card formatter for Windows. When the page is downloading, read the license and terms if you can. Accept the terms and download the software. Next, search for Rufus tool, and from the search results click on Rufus download. From the site you can see there are different versions of Rufus listed. Download the topmost, which should be the latest version. To recap, we've just downloaded 3 softwares. First, Ubuntu ISO image, the long-term version. Second, SD card formatter, and thirdly, Rufus. The link for these software downloads will be provided in the description below. Navigate to your downloads and locate these 3 files. The first thing you want to do is to install the SD card formatter. Double click on the SD card formatter to launch the installer. Click next. Accept the terms and next. Next, and install. When the program is done installing, check the box to launch the program and finish. Plug in the pen drive and it should be among the select SD card drop-down list after a few seconds. Select the SD card you want to format. Make sure that quick format is selected and click format. Click yes when the warning dialog shows up and OK when the format is complete. Close the SD card formatter. Right-click on Rufus and run it as an administrator. Click yes if you want to check for updates and no if you don't want to. Make sure the right drive is selected. Our goal is to burn an ISO image into a drive, therefore we choose this option. Select the ISO image you want to burn into the pen drive. Every other default should be OK. Click Start to initiate the format. Click Yes to get the new sys Linux file. Choose Write in ISO image mode and OK. Click OK. This process might take a while depending on the writing speed of your drive. I will pretend that my PC and drive can teleport and we are done with writing ISO to pen drive. With the pen drive, plug into the PC to be formatted. Restart the PC if it is turned on or turn it on if it is turned off. Continuously tap F12 or any of the following keys on your keyboard. Escape, F2, F9 or F10 to load your device boot options. If none of the above keys worked, then you need to Google your device boot option key. As a side note, the PC might pick up the bootable pen drive and boot from it, meaning you might not need to initiate the installation. When you succeed in getting into the boot options, use keyboard arrow keys to select any option with the external USB and click enter on your keyboard. In some instances, you might need to disable secure boot for the USB option to show up. If everything goes fine and your pen drive is detected, the GNU grub boot menu will be displayed. From the list, select Ubuntu and hit enter. Wait for the file check operation to conclude. English is already selected and I will leave it that way. You might want to change it if you prefer a different language or if something else is selected. You can try Ubuntu if you want to see what it looks like. I will install it, so I proceed with that option. If you click try Ubuntu and want to continue, either run from the desktop shortcut or from the dock on the left side. Select your preferred language and continue. You will arrive at the keyboard layout selection window. My keyboard is English US, but if you are not sure, you can use the dictate keyboard layout button key and type in the characters displayed. For the options that follow, click yes if you can find the character in your keyboard or no if you can't. With the appropriate keyboard layer selected, click continue. Normal installation is perfect because unlike minimal installation, it includes programs that are important for our daily job. It's okay to leave the download update checkbox selected. Third-party software and drivers is an option that I want, but you can leave it if you are skeptical about them. Supply password for secure boot configuration and click continue. Make sure to remember the password or write it down because it's required during reboot to complete installation of any third-party driver or software. Please, this is very important. Write it down or make sure you remember it. I will choose something else so we have the ability to manage the hard drive ourselves. Continue. Your hard drive partitions will likely differ here. If there is not enough space free to work with, then you have to select any partition you prefer and delete it by clicking the minus button. I have an EFI and swap partitions already, so I only need to create a root directory. I will demonstrate how to create a swap and EFI partitions respectively. Select a free space and click plus to create a new partition. Specify a size that should approximate to the size of your RAM. Partition type should be primary. Location is best at the beginning. Swap area should be selected as file format. Then click OK. But I will cancel out of here since I have already created a swap area. For EFI partition, everything is the same as what we just did except that EFI system partition should be selected, not swap area. Now that the demo is over, let's create our root partition. Again, select a free space and click the plus sign. Specify how much space you need. It should be less than or equal to the free space you selected, which in turn should be the minimum requirement as we discussed at the beginning of this video. Partition type should be primary. Location is also best at the beginning because creating a partition at the end of a drive, especially a spinning disk, often leads to fragmentation. ext4 should be selected as the file format. Mount point is root, which is /. Click OK to finish the partition creation. After a few seconds, the partition should be ready. Select the root partition we just created and click Install Now. A bunch of warnings will appear warning you of the permanent changes that will be made to your hard drive. Read and make sure you understand them clearly before continuing. Choose your location or leave it at default as you can always change it later. Continue. Type out your information and password, then continue. The installation begins and might take a while depending on the speed of your PC. When this installation is complete, a prompt asking you to restart your computer will appear. Restart the PC to complete the installation. It will ask you to remove your installation pen drive. Do exactly that and press enter on your keyboard. If you choose to install third-party software during installation, you might be prompted to enroll mock. If that is the case, scroll to enroll mock with keyboard arrow keys and press enter. Select continue and press enter. Select yes and press enter. What the password you used after accepting to install third-party software during installation. Remember I asked you to write it down for secure boot configuration. Don't worry because nothing is showing when you are entering the password. It's for security purposes. Press enter after entering the password. Make sure restart is selected and press enter. Alright, so after installation you are greeted with this screen. I don't want live patch. So live patch is it's an Ubuntu program that is used to update the OS without needing to restart the PC. So this should be good for things like a server, but for this installation I don't think we need it. I don't need it. So you might want to set it up for me, so I'll click next. I don't want to send the report. I can agree to this time later, but for now, just say no and click next. Privacy statement, you can read it up, but I'll click next. And voila, we are done. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Make sure you subscribe and click the like button.